peer instruction and how you can best be able to use it in your own classroom. And of course, there are many advantages to using peer instruction in your own classroom, including collaboration, but engagement, participation, and of course, as feedback for you teachers to be able to see how much your students are learning and how much you have been able to cover your main areas. And therefore now we are going to discuss another strategy that can be used as a way of using active learning strategies in your own classroom and helping your students be able to learn better. And this is what you call think, pair, share, which is called in many cases TPS, or think, pair, share. By definition, when you speak of think, pair, share, it's a mechanism or a strategy that is used when you want to induce thinking in their own classroom, making thinking visible in your own classroom, allowing your students to be able to express express themselves, or discussing on giving out their own opinions. That is when active learning strategy, TPS, comes into picture. So it's actually an active learning strategy in which students can work on problems posed by instructors as well. So first of all, you allow your students to be able to think, generally each one thinking, limiting them to a specific time period. Maybe thinking would take some 2 minutes. And then after thinking, you will have to do pairing again. So you have pairs, your neighbors, pair. It could be 2 students or 3 students where they pair together or team up together and then think of their answers, because there are 2 or 3 students coming together. Therefore, they have different answers to their question. Therefore, they could be able to think and harmonize the questions, and then have 1 or 2 questions that are stronger, one or two responses that are stronger to be able to help you. And then the third part is where they have to share. Sharing means they have to talk to the class. So you stand up, one of the group members has stand up and then give reaction to the answer. Okay, in our group or in our setting or in our pair, we had the following responses: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they give up their solution to the classroom. So you have to make sure that your students are involved, and then you have to make sure that they have the thinking time, you are giving the pairing time, and then you are giving the sharing time. So thinking time could be 1 or 2 minutes. Pairing time could be 2 or 3 minutes, depending on the time you have. And then, of course, sharing could be longer, because if there are 5 groups in your classroom, you could be expecting some more time, which could be from 5 to 15 minutes, depending on the number of groups you have in your classroom. So that's basically how TPS works. So now, what is happening in each phase? So during think phase, the teacher asks a specific question about a topic. So that question should be specific, but it should be able to elicit some thinking, which allows students to be able to think and generate some ideas. So the topic could be something about what they know or what they already know, or what they have come up with their own individual answers or something. And then this thinking phase normally takes 1 to 3 minutes, depending on the type of questions and time you have. Now, during pair phase is where the teacher asks another question related to the first question, and then it's suitable to deepen the student. So in that case, the teacher tries to go deeper, expanding on that former question that you had posed. And therefore, the students have to pair with each other, maybe making a pair of 1 or 2 students together, 2 or 3 students together. And then from there, they have to discuss, they share their thinking with each other, and then be able to proceed with the task that is given by the teacher. And of course, this pairing phase takes some 5 to 10 minutes in normal setting. So that depends on how much time you have in your own way. And then you go to the share phase. This is the time when the students have to share their own thinking to the entire class. So they give out their responses and shares and thinking to the class based on the group setting there. So the teacher will be able to moderate what is happening from this particular group, thinking, comparing what is happening in this group to what is varying in the next group, and then trying to harmonize all the responses and giving up common responses to each. So he will be like facilitating and then be able to share what have been generated in general. So that is how think, pair, share acts or works. So we have also 1 or 2 examples down, which will be some scenarios of case-based learning where teachers from Tanzania have been able to share their own resources. But in that way, you'll be able to learn and see how you can be able to apply it in your own setting as well. So generally, why would you like to use think, pair, share? First of all, you could be able to use when you have well-known challenges to teaching and learning in your own setting. Maybe you see that your students are not performing well, and maybe they do not understand some concepts very well, and therefore you pose a question that connects to that concept so that you see how much people know and how much students know and how much they can be able to learn to each other. But again, TPS can be used when you have you want to engage your entire class as required. So you engage your entire class and give responses to the class as well and see how much they have been able to learn from a topic. But again, TPS can be used as a formative assessment where you get to see how your students are learning and what improvement you can be able to make in the process to help your students be able to learn better. And of course, TPS has a lot of benefits to teachers as well and to students as well. So students are actively engaged, and therefore they can be able to learn from each other, collaborate and discuss, and therefore you create some sense of collaboration and learning from each other. But students can also still tackle large and ill-structured problems, which will help them be able to develop abilities like multiple points of view, sharing experiences, and of course, collaboration in the process. They are also like you make your class interactive. At the same time, the students can be able to understand the way they are struggling, comparing with others, and therefore they can also be able to build some friendly relationship of learning, and therefore bringing a good academic atmosphere in your classroom. And of course, it includes statements like solving problems that are related to your own ways of teaching and learning. So this is a reflection point where you need now to write down, take your pen and paper, write down responses to this question. What are the different active learning strategies have you tried in your classroom? It could be TPS or PI instruction, but probably you have something different which may be interesting and be able to share with the others. Just write down in a notebook, and probably later on you'll be able to share with others in the discussion forum. So remember, when you finish all these videos, go back to your discussion forum, share your own experiences on how you have been able to use active learning in your own classroom so that other teachers can also be able to learn from you in this particular session. Thank you.